Good morning, everybody. It is 9:11 here in East Coast time on the 7th of March, and the title of the video is All Targets Point Lower. So we're going to take a look at this, all of the setups leading into where we are. We just continue to have, we haven't seen this type of, and it's technical selling. It's traditionals to targets, extensions to targets, short covering on the lows at targets, and we continue to just move lower here, and until proven otherwise, which is going to take one hell of a trend break to do so. If you guys remember, the last major pullback, and by pullback I mean pull up, was this extension that traded Monday. It completed on Tuesday, and since then we've been in traditionals. It's pretty rare for us to go from an extension to a traditional, but this profit target was so large that we ended up holding a more aggressive traditional draw. Now we had Monday's high to low, which we've been inside and have been anticipating this target to most likely eventually complete, and that's my discount level here for the day. I do think once we get down there we will see a short covering rally, so if you're looking for longs, don't even bother looking for them until we get down to 19,830s. That's where we're on our way to. So that's going to be my discount level for the day. It's also a daily swing low. You'll notice I have this purple dotted line here, and if we move back out to the daily chart, you can see it is the swing low of early October. It is a swing low of early October. And we're probably gonna, hit that level here today. Now, the only other situation of like, and it very well could happen if we are gonna get like a massive puke out, even bigger than that -23, that may be happening sometime next week. And at that point, I would look for a very aggressive, very risky, some type of out of the money call situation. But if we can puke out to the -61 next week at 19,540s, it's another 500 points below. We've had that move in 30 minutes, or almost, I should say, but absolutely on the table, 19,550. And if that were to happen, we'd be filling the gap from rollover, going back to, was that into the December roll from the September contract, September-December roll. So just be aware of that level next week. It's some time away, but could definitely come into play next week. I don't think we're going to get it today. And if we do, my goodness, I'm not sure I'd buy it. So anyway, yesterday, that midpoint I was talking about in the morning trade plan just stuck like a rock. 20,473. We were holding extensions going into it, and then we spent a lot of time going sideways. It was only when, of course, headline-driven market, 11:30 was a headline that came out. We swept up to that level one more time, and then spent the rest of the day basically moving towards our profit targets, which then created a rally. What I wanted to see, and I was hoping to get it yesterday, that we were going to get that counter trend move just up into that next traditional. Once again, very technical. The high of Thursday to the low intraday of Thursday, and this was developing. This was a setup that we can only see develop during that day because we had to make a new low. And this morning, on the back of that news report, we ran right up into it, 20,256 half, and we have completely fallen down and out of it. Now, that downside profit target is 19,883. That's also a level we can pay attention here today. We very well could rally off that and then trade the next traditional, but as long as we're below these traditionals, we're going to continue to get sold into on the higher time frame. Now, there is counter trend rallies, and the counter trend rallies can be massive. I mean, counter trend rally on, I think if anything, we kind of have a similar day to Wednesday, where we chop off the open and get down into that low and then have that counter trend rally. Yesterday, it was a move higher into the short and then a move lower. We kind of had that move higher, but everything below this 20,256 is just a variation to target down into the 19,883s, and then eventually possibly get that larger time frame discount zone near 19,831, and I need to move down. My premium level is basically the draw that is already traded. So I would not look for, I would only look at shorts at that level, and no longs, absolutely no longs above it here today. So that's going to be a 20,250 area. Moving on to the S&P 500. Once again, bigger targets. I think the S&P could potentially hit this level first and maybe begin basing. But we have the traditional target from Tuesday down at what is 56 like 90 area. So 56.90 area is the traditional target from Tuesday. And also now that we are really breaking down below this extension target from the Monday, the extension that traded on Monday, that target completed on Tuesday. Now that we're below it, you can actually anticipate the Friday low to low holding. Okay, and that's definitely what you could argue is held here. Oops, wrong button. You also had in the ES Wednesday's high to low trade at the midpoint yesterday. That completed, and you could argue that that high to low has also had participation here. But you'll see here this morning we went straight up. Where do we stop? The midpoint, straight to the midpoint, and faltered lower, which technically pierced the halfway back short of the prior day. So I'm still going to anticipate using what is Friday's low of last week. Friday's low of last week, too low. You can see that 50% retracement literally stuck. That is going to be an important anchor moving forward. That also targets down here at this 56.85 area. So between 56.90 to 56.85, I would pull back on any shorts here today and anticipate a counter trend rally into the next short setup, which is most likely going to be a same anchor new low. But the volatility here, guys, continues to be absolutely wild. I mean, especially the NASDAQ. I mean, we're looking at 100 points moves whipping back and forth. So really want to focus on making the trades you're taking worth it, and that is by waiting for some of the higher time frame levels like this morning. I mean, the problem is you get kind of bored waiting, and then you force trades. I mean, we all do it. But yeah, I mean that 20,256. I was looking for that to trade since 2 o'clock yesterday, and then it trades, immediately on the news, and you can see the reaction, 200 points straight that way. So if we can get down to this 19,831s here today, that's going to be a great level, I think, to look for a potential reversal. But here off the open, as far as playing it, I will be interested in the full halfway back short from highs. We'll see what that happens, but the volatility here off the open, I'm sure, is going to be extreme. I'll share these levels with you guys in the room, and then jump on the Discord